Hello everyone. I would like to talk to you about chromatics and how to use more chromatics in your improvisation. And I think singers find it difficult to use chromatics. And so I will give you some tips on how to start doing that. I have here a little overview, and I would start by using one half step between the 1 and the 7 of a Mixolydian scale. So Mixolydian on the dominant, for instance on a D7. Yeah. And if I would sing a normal Mixolydian scale, then I would sing dee 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 da. And if I would sing one half step between the 1 and the 7, this is the 1 and this is the 7. So then I would sing da dee dee, da dee 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 da. And what this does for you is that all the chord tones end on downbeat. So you have dee da dee da da. A wonderful metric trick actually to use. So ba dee 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 dee. If you use the bridge, if you take the bridge of I Got Rhythm, then you can start on this note and and then you do it on G7, on C7, and on F7. So every dominant you do the same thing. You sing a half tone between the 1 and the 7 of the Mixolydian scale, like this. Dee 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 be dee be dee be da. Ba 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 da ba da ba da. Ba ba da ba dee be dee be da. Ba 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 dee be dee be da. Like this. And then you have already one chromatic note, right? You could then use 2 half steps between the 2 and the 7, or the 9 and the 7. So if this is the root, then this is a 9. Da da da. Now I have 2 half steps. Da 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 da. Da 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 eh. Da 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 eh. Da 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 dee 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 dee. So that's a nice exercise I think you could do, starting first putting a half step between the 1 and the 7, and then putting 2 half steps between the 2 or the 9 and the 7th. And then sing it on every dominant you come across. And then I would preferably do that on a dominant going to a major chord or another dominant. Then I have another one, 3 half steps between the 3 and the 7. So now we start on the 3rd of the dominant. Even kijken. Ba da 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 da. 3 half steps. So I use the other ones as well, and now is 1 extra. Da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 de. Da 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 de. Ba da 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 de. So I hope this exercise will help you to use some more chromatic notes in your improvisation. Starting first with 1 chromatic note on the Mixolydian scale, and then 2, starting on the 9 or the 2, going down, and then on the 3rd, doing 3 half steps. And I think chromatic notes are really great and gives a lot more jazzy sound to your improvisation. So I wish you good luck.